Welcome to another edition of the Entertainment Corner. I'm Paul Ortiz, and we're at the beautiful Laguna Playhouse. And this is the first show of their 2016 and 2017 season. It's all shook up. And with me today is Cole Fletcher. You're part of this show.
Hi, yes.
How's that going so far?
It's going great. We just finished our first week of previews, and now we're officially open, and it's super fun.
It's kind of a fun show because it's nothing but Elvis tunes.
Right, right.
And it's a neat little story because I guess it's a small town sometime in the mid-50s, I would say.
Yeah, and it's a small town where a lot of fun is not allowed, so a roustabout comes along and mixes it all up.
Tell us about your character. Where do you fit in?
So my character is Dean Hyde. He is a military boy, and he's the son of the mayor of the town, so he's used to the strict rules and the moral compass. And then when the roustabout comes to town, he finds himself in love with a girl that his mother forbids, and so they just have to fight for their love, and they run away together. But it all ends up a happy ending, of course.
Kind of has that Footloose kind of thing to it, right? A little bit like that.
Yep.
Yeah. What really enticed you to be a part of this production and to really capture this role?
Oh gosh. Well, I'm from California, so it's been a blessing to be here and performing at home, and then. What attracted me to the role was it's a character with a good message and good morals, and it's a really great story. So that's what I liked about the character.
You seem a little young for Elvis.
Yeah,
but I'm sure you've heard of him, right?
Yeah, of course, and the young look I think helped me for the character because Dean is supposed to be 16 years old, so. He's a young boy.
Tell me about your father, the mayor. Why does he have this, clamp down on the town? And
my mother's the mayor, and then
your mother's the mayor.
Yeah,
okay.
And she actually, it's a funny story. I mean, I don't know if I want to spoil it, but she is very strict with her rules because she has some insecurities of her own, and she has a past that she's sort of ashamed of, and you'll find out at the end. What that exactly is, but she takes it out on her townspeople.
Right, so she's kind of hiding a little bit of something, amongst her family, and I imagine the town people, like you just said.
No one has any idea.
And so you go off to military school or something like that, right? And then you come back?
Yeah, I come back, and the town has been completely shaken up by this roustabout, and then I find myself in love, and so does most of the other characters.
Right.
And so it's a change for the best in the town.
So this guy you keep calling the roustabout, that's basically the Elvis character?
Yeah, his name's Chad.
Yeah.
And most of the townspeople call him roustabout, but his name is Chad, and he's just a roustabout loving his ladies and traveling.
It's going to be interesting because we're going to meet this roustabout in just a couple of minutes, so it's going to be fun to talk to him. So do you find him as kind of an alter ego for yourself, or is he just enabled the town to kind of break away from it?
Yeah, he's definitely enabled the town to break away from everything they're used to. And I guess he kind of is like an alter ego, an opposite in a way, because I'm so afraid to do anything outside of my boundaries, and I don't want to ever disobey my mother, and so he helps me and the girl that I'm in love with do just that.
And it's part of that process of growing up too, right?
Right. So he tells us that that's all right to do that, and that's the song he sings actually. Yeah.
Tell us, what are your favorite tunes, especially obviously for the show?
There's so many good ones, obviously. Some of my favorites are, I mean, I'm a little biased, but Now or Never. I get to sing with my girlfriend, and it's an elaborate song because I'm leaving on the bus to go back to military school, and she's riding her bike after the bus.
Oh, wow.
And the way they set it up is very clever and really funny. So I love Now or Never, and some of the lesser known ones are really great too. I love If I Can Dream, and There's Always Me is a really beautiful song too.
Wow.
So
that sounds great. First time here at the Laguna Playhouse?
Yes, I've had a lot of family and friends perform here over the years, but this is my very first time.
Right. Well, so glad to meet you and be a part of this show.
Yeah,
and,
nice to meet you.
We're going to get a chance to meet this roustabout guy in just a little bit. So
he is something.
Great to work with, I'm sure.
Yes. Oh yeah. Definitely.
Tell us about the cast before I let you go real quick.
Oh yeah.
It's got what, I think 17 people or something.
Yeah.
Like that?
It's like, I mean, including stage management, we have like about 20, and it's really been a bonding experience. We kind of were all thrown together, not knowing each other at all, and within 2 weeks we were finished with rehearsals, and we were basically a family, and now we get to have like 30 more shows together or something crazy like that, and it's really been amazing.
Great. Well, we appreciate you spending some time on the Entertainment Corner.
Yeah.
And we're going to be right back, and we're going to talk to this roustabout and see what happens.
Thank you.
Well, joining us on the set now is Clark Hellman, and I guess you're the roustabout, huh?
I am. I am the roustabout.
How do you come into town?
Well, I come in on my motorcycle, and it starts off right with the Elvis song "Roustabout," and that kind of gets to be his intro, and then we just spring right on into it.
Wow. Tell us a little bit about your background. I know your career is just now starting to flourish, but you're from the East Coast.
Yeah, I am. All the way on the other side. So I grew up kind of through, like, started off in Florida now, and then Georgia, and then ended up going to school in North Carolina, but now I'm finally living up in New York City, and doing the whole grind.
It's a tough business.
It is, but it was great because Laguna Playhouse ended up coming to New York for one day just to do one audition, and just happened to see it on Playbill that one day, and
here you are.
Showed up the next day, and here we go.
Have the producers ever tried to talk you into dyeing your hair and making it darker?
No, some people were wondering about that.
Wow,
some
that'd
people
be
were
awesome.
wondering
I think
about
you should
that,
try
but,
that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be up for it, but no, I guess they were wanting just to kind of separate from the fact that he's not actually Elvis,
right?
And just give him the vibe of the rock and roll feel. But
tell us about your character. He seems like kind of a a rough and tumble kind of guy. He's a guy on the streets, and he's trying to get this town to kind of, I don't know, kind of change their ways.
Well, the way that he kind of describes himself is that he's just a roving roustabout with a song in his soul and a love for the ladies. So basically, he just kind of has, I feel like he just has the pure fun and like fire of rock and roll of that era.
Yeah.
And at least in my crafting, he's coming from the east side, coming from that Nashville, that kind of Memphis, the rock and roll center, and he's coming on over and he's kind of spreading his loving in that way.
Now, were you a fan of Elvis before this role came about?
I mean, how can
Who
you
isn't,
not?
right?
Yeah, I mean, I love Elvis, but like really listening to all the different things that he did and the different ways that he performed in different styles, I mean, I didn't really look into that as much until I came to here.
Yeah. So as soon as you got the role, did you just start listening to all his music and trying to kind of, I imagine you're trying to copy him, but you're trying to get that feel
I wanted to get the feel
Yeah.
that he had. He kind of has this great swing to every single song that he puts on, and you can really feel his passion for just kind of like grooving with the music and just allowing that to be the thing that carries him through the song. That was kind of the main thing that I looked at, but I tried to separate a lot from, definitely didn't want to copy his style too much because this show is like interesting in how we use Elvis's music and all that stuff, but the way that we portray it to the audience is completely stripped from what he
was as an entertainer or performer, right?
Exactly. We give little hints towards him, and we like throw in a couple of Elvis walks every once in a while, but we try to like every single number, even though they're all Elvis songs, they all have very different styles to them, and I think that's one of the great things about the show is that it shows all the variety in his music.
And you're telling a story, right?
Yeah,
so you're doing it through music.
Exactly.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit more about the rest of the cast. How's that worked out, and how's the show going so far?
Well, the show's going fantastic.
Yeah,
It really is, and the energy in this cast is phenomenal. I mean, one of my favorite numbers on stage, we're doing "Come On Everybody," and you have the whole entire town on stage, and we're all looking right at each other, trying to get this energy to start flowing, because this is right when the whole town starts like feeling alive, and Chad's really getting into them. And it's just a really fantastic energy on stage.
The audience, I imagine, is feeling that energy as well,
absolutely.
right?
You're hearing whoops and hollers and whistles from the crowd.
Well, thanks so much for joining us on the Entertainment Corner. Welcome to Southern California. First time at the Laguna Playhouse, so I'm sure you're going to be here until August 7th, so you have a pretty good run.
No, I'm going to be enjoying Laguna for a
and
while.
you get to celebrate your birthday here as well,
I do.
The internet is a very scary thing. You can even find out his birthday. But the show is going to be playing until August 7th. That's All Shook Up right here at the Laguna Playhouse. They do have matinee performances on Saturday and Sunday as well, so be sure and check them out and visit the website as well. Well, that'll do it for this edition of the Entertainment Corner. I'm Paul Ortiz, and we'll see you again next time.